The Guardian is a playable class in Elden Ring Nightreign. In order to unlock his full potential, we will need to complete multiple steps in his Remembrance Questline, all of which will be covered in this guide. There will be spoilers in the form of important information, and as usual, useful timestamps can be found in the video description. The first thing we will need to do is play as the Guardian in an expedition, and I do believe we will need to successfully complete an expedition as Guardian in order to access his first Remembrance quest step in Chapter 4 of his journal. I chose the Augur target for this first expedition, though I would recommend a different, less annoying target. In any case, once the task is done, we can go to the journal and roundtable hold and begin the first remembrance for Guardian in Chapter 4 of his journal. We will then need to go speak with the Iron Menial, and after exhausting his dialogue, we should be able to ask about the cursed weapon, then speak with him once more to begin a personal objective on Guardian to defeat the Guardian Golem in Limveld. We will need to play as Guardian during an expedition and while having the Remembrance active in order to complete the objective. Also, keep in mind that only one player can complete a personal objective per expedition. If your objective was given priority, you should see a red banner or flag icon on the map indicating where to go to complete it. In my case, the objective, a Guardian Golem, was located near the southwest corner of the map. Since this was near the starting point of my team's expedition, we decided to head there almost immediately. The fight was a little tough, but we managed to defeat the Golem. Upon doing so, we will receive the stone stake. All we need to do is then finish the expedition to get credit for completing the objective. That being said, it's likely that accessing additional chapters in Guardian's journal will require defeating more Night Lords, so do your best to succeed. My expedition team was able to defeat our target, Gladius Beast of Night. With our personal objective completed, we can return to Roundtable Hold, speak with the Iron Menial, and receive the second volume. We can then use the nearby portal to exit the Remembrance. Upon doing so, we will be rewarded with the Stone Stake Relic, which can be equipped to any red container slot over at the Relic Rite station. By this point, I had successfully completed 2 expeditions as Guardian, defeating a total of 2 Night Lords. If you are not able to access the Chapter 6 entry in Guardian's journal, make sure that you have done the same, then begin the Chapter 6 Remembrance. A new ghost NPC will appear in the northeast area of Roundtable Hold, near the wardrobe. We can speak with him multiple times to receive an eerie charm, then move back towards the central chamber to advance the quest. After a short interaction, we can move back to the ghost NPC and eliminate him. After that is done, we will need to go speak with the Iron Menial once more and exhaust all of his dialogue. Doing so should give us another personal objective, which is to find the Demon Merchant in Limveld. My first attempt at this, I chose the Equilibrious Beast Expedition, and I believe this was a mistake. That is because the Demon Merchant is the final boss of that expedition, and so I don't think the merchant is findable during the first 2 days, at least it wasn't there in my game. Perhaps defeating the final boss would have completed the objective, but I wasn't able to test that as we failed to defeat Libra, Creature of Night. So with that caveat covered, the next expedition we chose was the Fissure in the Fog target. This time around, I was able to locate the Demon Merchant on the map in the southwest quadrant of Limveld. We can either fight and defeat the merchant to complete our objective, which is pretty difficult, or just speak with it and say, I want the tome, then pay the required 10,000 runes, which is much easier. Doing so and then finishing the match will get us the 3rd volume objective item. Once again, I recommend doing your best to defeat the final boss, as it may be required to advance to the final step in Guardian's Questline. Returning to Roundtable Hold, we can speak with the Iron Menial and exhaust all of his dialogue, then use the nearby portal to exit the Remembrance. Doing so will get us the 3rd volume Relic and Guardian's Chalice. At this point, I had successfully completed and defeated the final boss of 3 expeditions as Guardian, which may be a prerequisite for starting the final Guardian Remembrance in Chapter 9 of his journal. Once we've done that, we can read the nearby scrap of paper, followed by a book in the library. We will then need to go find and confront Recluse near the northwest cliffs of Round Table Hold. After asking Recluse, "Are you the maker of the curse?" we will need to make a decision. Personally, I chose to forgive her misdeed, but I'd be curious to know what happens if any of you make the other choice. Forgiving Recluse and exiting the Remembrance will reward us with the final entry in Guardian's journal, the Witch's Brooch Relic, and Guardian's Remembrance Garb or Skin, which can be equipped over at the wardrobe in Round Table Hold. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me in the comments where I will do my best to help. If you want to see more great guides, you can head over to my channel, and if you're new, consider subscribing. You're helping me feed my cat. Her name's Marshmallow. Have a great day if you're here today, have a great Friday, and a great weekend, and as always, thanks for watching.